Okay, hello everyone. This is the continuation of Industrial Electronics Lab number 2, that is OPAM as a practical integrator. So this is the second part of the video. So here today we are going to verify the frequency response, check the frequency response of a practical integrator. So during the last video, we have already made the circuit ready. So if you have not done that, please refer the earlier video. Okay, part 1 of OPAM integrator in Proteus simulation. And yeah, so build this in OPAM integrator circuit from the earlier video. And right now what we are going to do is we are going to vary the input frequency. Okay, so what we will do is, for that we will keep the Word document ready with us. And yeah, let me just take a new page. Yeah, so what are we going to do over here is concentrate over here. Let me insert some tables. So let me insert some tables. In one column, I will write frequency, and in the next column, I will write voltage. Fine. So what we need to do is we need to change the frequency, and we need to measure the voltages applied to the uh, integrator circuit. So in the last video, we have applied a sine wave of 1 kilohertz of 1 volt peak to peak. So we'll keep that as a starting point. So let's start with 1 hertz. Okay, it's very important, right? Hertz also here. 10 hertz. Next is around 100 hertz. Next will be 1 kilo ohm, 1 kilohertz. Then will be 10 kilohertz, 100 kilohertz, and then will be 1 megahertz. That is, yeah. So right now, last time we have measured at 1 kilohertz. At input frequency remains the same over here. So, sorry, input amplitude is 1 volt peak to peak. Okay, so if input is 1 volt peak to peak, whatever we measure over here, this becomes the gain, right? So this is the output voltage basically, correct? And what is my gain given by? Gain is given by output divided by input, V in. Since V in is same, so gain will be same as your V out. Understanding? Since input is 1 volt, 1 volt peak to peak remaining same, so my gain is same as my output voltage, right? So this is my output voltage, or we can call it as a gain. Fine. So what we need to do is we need to check the output voltage. Input is a 1 volt peak to peak sinusoidal waveform, sine waveform, right? And this topic is my frequency response plot. So we will change the various frequencies over here, and we'll check what is the output response. Fine. So let's go to the Proteus and again run the simulation. So those who have not done this circuit in Proteus, please refer the earlier video of OPAM OPAM as an integrator simulation in Proteus. Okay. So right now we have set the frequency at 1K, and input is going to remain the same. Input is around 0.5 volts division, and there are two divisions over here. So input is going to remain same. Okay, so don't bother checking the input waveform again and again, because that is going to be a constant value. Fine. We have to only concentrate on the output one. So earlier last time we have checked that the output which is connected to channel number B, the blue color waveform. Let's check the output value, amplitude. So over here, output amplitude will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So around 7.2. Okay, 7.2 divisions into 0.5. So that comes out to be 3.6 volts, volts peak to peak. Okay, so that value I will write it over here. At 1 kilohertz, I am getting 3.6 volts amplitude. Okay, so right now, because it is a volt, if it is actually a voltage, output voltage only, but it's also the gain also. The reason being the V out upon V in. V in is 1 volt peak to peak. Okay, so basically we will calculate that separately. Don't worry. So this is the value, 3.6 volt. So similarly, we have to complete the table. So right now, let me decrease the frequency to 100 hertz. So the moment you change this range to 0.1, your the waveform will get something disturbed, right? So what we need to do is we need to rotate the times per division knob. Okay, so as you can see, the output waveform amplitude has increased suddenly. input waveform will not change. So what we need to do is we need to adjust the volts per division knob. Okay, so right now the volts per division knob is adjusted to 1 volt per division. So let me adjust this value and adjust this also so that it fits the screen. So right now the amplitude of the output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around 9.5 to 9.6 we are getting. Let's consider 9.6. So it is around 9.6 divisions into 1 volt per division. So the amplitude over here is 9.6. Okay, so we can enter the value as 9.6 volts for 100 hertz. So here we are getting around 9.6 volts. Now let's decrease the frequency to 10 hertz. So I'll go over here and I'll put this range as around 10 hertz. Okay, so my frequency right now is 10 hertz. As you can see, again, my input output waveforms are disturbed. So I have to reduce the times per division knob. So see, after the reduction of the times per division knob, so again, I need to measure the amplitude, peak to peak amplitude. So I'll adjust it properly and again count the divisions over here. I can again count the divisions. Okay, so I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically there are 10 divisions and volts per division knob it's at 1. So how much will be the voltage? 10 volts. Okay, so at 10 hertz we are getting around 10 volts amplitude. Now let's check at 1 hertz. Okay, so again I'll go over here and change this range to 1 hertz. Okay, so when I do that, again the input output waveforms goes out of range. I have to decrease the times per division knob, and here it is. This is my waveform. I mean, I've adjusted that such a manner that is right now the input is sine wave at 1 hertz frequency and of amplitude 1 volt peak to peak. So I need to check the output amplitude again. It is actually similar at 10 hertz also, similar to what we got at 10 hertz. So again, we'll calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 divisions into 1 volts per division. So our value again will be 10 volts. Now let's check at around higher value 10K. Okay. So what we will do is right now we'll change the range to 10 kilohertz. So it has directly gone to around 10 kilohertz. So we'll have to adjust this amplitude. Yeah. So let me adjust this number. As you can see, the output voltage has fallen down, right? At a higher frequency, the output voltage has fallen down. So just reduce the volts per division knob. Okay, adjust in such a manner that it is measurable. Right now we have kept it at 50 millivolts. Let me adjust this times per division knob. Yeah. So let me calculate the peak to peak amplitude right now. So I have to calculate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.8. So here the peak value, the peak to peak amplitude is 7.8 into 50 millivolts. See the volts per division knob is at 50 millivolt, right? So into 50 millivolt, 7.8 into 50 millivolt will give me 0.39 volt. Okay, so please measure that accurately. 0.39 volt. Okay, next we'll go to the let me add it properly over here like this. Okay, so next we go to 100 kilohertz. So let us be change this to 100 kilohertz. So right now it is 100 kilohertz. As you can see, again the amplitude has fallen down. So again we'll reduce the volts per division knob so that it fits the screen and we are able to measure. Okay, so right now we'll again change the times per division knob. Fine. So we are adjusting it so that the waveform has become very small, but we are adjusting the times per division knob and volts per division knob every time. So right now let me again adjust this so that it's measurable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.8 again. Okay. So again we are getting 7.8, but this time the volts per division knob is at 5 millivolt. So 7.8 into 5 millivolts will give us 0.039. Okay, so at 100 kilohertz, the amplitude has further reduced to 0.039 volts. So be very careful when you write this. Now we have to test it at 1 megahertz. Last reading is left. So we will change the range to 1 megahertz over here. And right now, this is the maximum limit which we have. And this is at 2. We cannot decrease beyond this value. So right now we have to measure it as per the info. I mean, as it has been displayed onto the screen. This is also the maximum limit, right? So let me check this, read this number, try to read it. So it is 1, 2, somewhere around 2.5 to 2.6. Okay, so let's consider 2.6. So 2.6 is the divisions, and the volts per division knob is at 2 millivolt. So 2.6 into 2 millivolt will give you 0.0052. Okay, so check out in the calculator. The number will be 0.0052 volts. Okay, so we are successful in entering all the values. And now what we want is, now we want to plot this frequency response. Okay, we want to plot it like this. We really want to see whether the integrator act as a low pass filter or no. Fine. So what we will do is, we will you can go to google.com and enter online plot. Okay, so when we go to online plot, we can go to plotly and click on this online graph maker. So it will take some time to load. Okay, so what we will do is, we will plot we want to plot this value. You can plot it in Excel also, but let's say if someone doesn't have the Excel, then we have to plot it like this. Now what we will do is, we can add one more column actually. So here we will write the gain. So what will be the gain formula? Gain formula will be V out divided by V in. Correct? So V in is actually 1 volt only. So all the readings will be same. Only thing that over here volt will disappear, because gain will have no unit. Okay. So these are the gains for various ranges in the frequency. So we have to plot gain versus frequency. Understanding? Now let me go to that online plot, online graph maker. So here we have to enter the values over here. Okay, so first I will enter in this first column. So I'll again go to the Word document, enter these frequencies. Fine. So I'll enter these frequencies in the first column. Yeah, I have added the frequencies. In the next column, I will enter the gain value. Understanding the gain, why it is remaining the same, because the input is 1 volt peak to peak. Okay, so that's why it will remain the same. So this is my gain. So again, I will go over here and copy the gain. Fine. And I will be ready to trace. So I'll click on add trace. And over here, I have to select the type. So type I will select later. First, let me select what will be the x-axis. So what will be the x-axis? X-axis will be frequency. Y-axis will be gain. So x-axis will be frequency. So frequency is in column number B, A. So I will select A as the x-axis, and the y-axis data will be the volt. I mean the gain. So the B column. So this is my y-axis, right? So this scatter plot is also showing the same thing, but what I want to view is, I want to view it as a line or the area. Let's select the area. Okay. So as you can see, this is the graph which we are getting, right? And let me maximize it. So what you can do is, you can immediately take a print screen of this. Okay. So when you take a print screen of this, it looks something like this. It will look something like this. You have added your frequencies and you have added your distinct. So this is my frequency plot of op-amp integrator. Now let me add the labels. So here, if I click it, I can add it as frequency response of op-amp as integrator, or op-amp integrator. Okay, so this is the frequency response of op-amp integrator. Your x-axis, your y-axis and x-axis label also can be set. So you can enter your label over here, x-axis. So you can enter it as frequency in hertz, frequency in hertz. And here you can enter the details for the y-axis. So y-axis is the gain. Okay. So here you can see we have labeled the plot and we have written the title also. Now you can take a print screen, or else you can maximize this part later on, and then you can maximize this window over here and adjust it. I mean, and now take the print screen. I mean, it's perfect now. So what it is displaying, I mean, is it matching with what we have seen before? Yes, it is acting as a low pass filter. That means your lower frequencies are passed as it is and the higher frequencies are blocked. Okay. So similarly, we are getting such behavior from our readings, right? So here you can see low frequencies are passed around up till 100 hertz, it's passed perfectly. And after that, there is it starts blocking a very high frequency. So that means your integrator circuit acts as a low pass filter. Fine. So here also we can take a print screen. What you can do is you can add your roll number in bracket over here, so that you don't have to add your name and roll number again and again. So while editing the title, you can add your roll number and name and then take the print screen with the date and time. So once you do that, your print screen will look something like this. Okay. So your date and name also will be accommodated. So yeah. So what you need to do is you can enter these readings which I've added over here. Okay. These readings which I've added over here, you can enter in the table, enter in your table form. So this way you can add your readings values. Sine wave will be remaining the same at different frequencies. So let's say at 100 hertz, it was around 9.6. So similarly, we have to add these things. Okay, at 100 hertz. So all the readings added in the observation table. In your observation table, there will be only 2 rows. So you can right click and insert your rows over there. Okay, insert the row below. So you can keep on adding this, all the readings which we have added over here. Okay, let me show it to you. Yeah, so we have added this table over here. So we can add the frequency and the output voltage column. Okay, all the readings we can add it in this in your write-up. Fine. So in this way, you have to complete this experiment. So first part was applying of a square wave and checking the output. And next part was applying the sine wave and checking the amplitude and the frequency of the output. And then we have to determine the how to calculate the frequency response. So that frequency response source at that, so that the op-amp integrator also act as a low pass filter. Okay, so we can select an online simulator, that is a Plotly, and we can take a screen of this and attach it in your writer. Okay, so that's it for this lab. Next time we will start with industrial electronics lab number 3, op-amp as a differentiator. So until then, have a good day and thank you.